An incredible victory. I knew Asmodan could never stand up to the likes of you.
Where are Adria, Leah, and Tyrael?
They're all in the armory, no doubt celebrating. You should join them.
Adria, when did you decide to betray us?
20 years ago, a great and terrible power drew me to Tristram. But Aiden, Leoric's eldest son, defeated that power and sought to contain it within his own flesh.
The Dark Wanderer.
It was Diablo I saw within him, and I pledged myself to his service. Now, at last, his grand design comes to fruition. Dear Leah, Deckard always suspected your true father was Diablo himself. And now, my daughter, you shall serve as his vessel!
I live. But I am more than I once was. The 7 evils are now one within me. I am the prime evil. Well done, faithful Adria. Go now, until I call upon you again. Now, at last, to my true goal, the one that has always eluded me. The utter destruction of the high heavens. Even in the heart of heaven, angels can still feel fear.
My old enemy. You cannot hide from me, no matter what form you choose to wear. Let your true self be revealed. Diablo. Imperious.
'Imperious.
Leah is gone. The power that slept within her belonged to Diablo. And he is reborn, stronger than ever. The heavens were his true target all this time. And now, the angels stand on the brink of annihilation.
This devastation defies all reason.
Imperius, you cannot mean to face Diablo again. Your wounds are barely healed.
The heavens burn. This is your fault, Tyrael. And you, Nephilim, look below and see what your kind has wrought.
I know how he feels, but we have to keep going.
The Diamond Gates have stood since the light first broke over the high heavens. Now they lie in ruins. Imperius is right. I am the cause of this.
You could not have foreseen it.
Long ago, my brethren and I voted to decide the fate of man. I cast the final vote that spared you from extinction. Now humanity has birthed the prime evil.
Demons manipulate angels and humans alike. I can assure you of that.
But you don't understand. Hope has been silenced. We are lost. Diablo is too powerful. Always before, the lords of hell bickered and worked against each other. They undid themselves. Within Diablo, within the Prime, there is no such division. And now, the halls of the high heavens quake beneath his steps. The Prime evil. I can't believe all this has come to pass. Adria played us all for fools. Diablo's influence twisted her inside and out. I suspect we have not seen the last of her. I should have known that Leah's father was the Wanderer. How could I not have sensed Diablo's foul presence within her?
We were all deceived.
But poor Leah. I grieve for her soul.
Whatever her fate is, it cannot be changed by grief.
I thought I could make my wife's death mean something. It doesn't matter now, does it?
All death has meaning.
Right. Sure that's a comfort for Leah, now that she's gone too. Oh, I've been a fool. You don't get to make things right. This world isn't made for redemption.
The fat merchant never ran, not even when he had a chance. I wonder why.
You always knew. Of course, Chelsea. But you did nothing to stop it. That's the point of the future, love. It keeps coming. You don't win a duel by blocking the first blow and going home. So you watched Leah suffer. I had to. Diablo was always going to come back. But now, you are here to stop him. And in your grief and rage, you will, my Chelsea.
When you have lived as long as I, you learn that life is filled with betrayal. But the cruelest always comes at the hands of those we love. I know it must be hard to think of other things, but now we must. All creation rests upon your shoulders.
So you are capable of being serious?
Well, These are dark times. Even I must set apart thoughts of Dirge's jewel and dwell upon the fate of the world. But that doesn't mean you have to frown so. Hope. Do not look down, my friend. Even in the darkest of times, there is always hope. Hope for a better day. Hope for a new dawn. Or just hope for a good breakfast. You start small, then see what you can get. I never quite expected my life to end this way.
How did you envision your death?
Well, smothered by a harem. Or more likely, killed by the jewel I seek. Who would have thought that the entire world would die together? I can't complain. It's not as though I can say my life was not long enough.
You will not perish in this battle. I would know.
I'm glad my boundless confidence is rubbing off on you. Could you give some of it back?
Lot of bloody good this king did us in the end, eh? All those deaths, they didn't even matter. May as well have run.
I should be dead. And yet here I am. And nearly all my lads are gone. And for what? To hold off Asmoden long enough for Diablo to return?
There are still people here who depend on you.
So did all my brave lads. Look where it got them.
We were gravely mistaken, my friend. I could not see through an illusion of such power, such treachery.
It was skillfully concealed. Leah's magic always did seem strange, but I assumed it was because she had not been trained.
When I think of what she suffered through, we must find a way to stop Diablo. The Prophet would never forgive me if he knew my part in unleashing this terror upon the world. I could not see the truth. You must think me very foolish.
If you are a fool, then so am I.
That is kind of you. I have devoted my life to studying the arcane, and yet I was not skilled enough to act when it truly mattered.
Well, we've had a good time, right? Shame about our imminent deaths.
You sound almost as though you've accepted the inevitability of death.
You don't choose this life and expect to live to an old age. Still, it's the women I feel sorry for.
Which women?
All of them. There will be heaving bosoms and torn clothes all across the land when word spreads that I've fallen in battle.
You must miss your brother. Or his wife.
No point in it. I'll never see them again.
You can't be sure of that.
My brother's wife thinks I was involved with his imprisonment, and he believes her.
Unfortunate.
As low as I am, I would never frame him. Not even to win her back. They won't hear a word of it. For all the gold I send to them, I receive nothing in response. If there's treasure to be had, then I'm in.
I keep thinking of the traitor, John Dar. He had turned to evil, I have no doubt. But I wonder, would he have fallen as easily if the Order had not betrayed him? I knew he was troubled, but I said nothing. I saw his doubts, his weakness, and when he submitted to Magda, I thought my suspicions were confirmed. Perhaps I could have saved him before it was too late.
The dead are beyond our aid.
You are right. And still, I wonder if I could have said something, done something, and changed his mind. Wait. Before we face that abomination, there is something you should know. When we first met, I thought you a simple and brutal warrior. I was wrong. You are wise in a way I have no words for. You cut right to the truth of a problem. I admire you more than I can say.
Outsiders seldom understand my kind. The But you have looked deeper. I hope you always remember the power of that.
I will. Of all people, I should have seen this coming. I allowed myself to believe this fiction that Adria was other than I suspected her to be. And now, the world is lost, and it is my fault.
We are all at fault. There is no disguising that fact.
Ever since Adria betrayed us, I've been thinking about how Magda used to share the leadership of the Coven with another.
Right.
20 years ago, just before the darkening of Tristram, they had some sort of falling out, and the other leader disappeared. I think that other leader might have been Adria.
That would explain a great deal.
May the battles never end.
If you are reading this, my husband and I are both gone. We would like to be buried side by side, preferably in a sunny spot. Oh, and please don't bury my husband's sword with us. He won't need it anymore.
Gaze upon the destruction I have wrought. It will be the last thing you see. Iskato, destroy the Nephilim. I do not fear you, Nephilim. You'll find only death in this eternal realm. The shades will devour your soul. Closer to my ultimate victory.
I am Ethereal, Archangel of Fate. It is my duty to record what is and what will be within the scroll of fate. But you, Nephilim, you are not in the scroll. Your fate is unwritten.
I would see the angels saved and the heavens restored.
Perhaps fate can be changed. Quickly then, Oriel, Archangel of Hope, has been captured by Raganoth, the Lord of Despair.
I will free her.
Keep your guard. There are foes at every turn. Mounds of corruption are truly ghastly things. Let us rid the heavens of their filth.
Do not fear the end.
Always wanted to fight some of these.
The Angelus Council is comprised of the 5 Archangels who hold dominion over the high heavens. They determine the laws by which all angels must abide. Each of them embodies a pure aspect of creation. Valor, justice, hope, faith, wisdom.
Think yourself free from the chains of fate, Nephilim, but all will kneel before Lord Diablo. Into the Silver Spire.
Only once in the history of Sanctuary has a Nephilim been as powerful as you. His name was Odysseum.
Some call him a myth.
He was no myth. Because of his noble sacrifice, I saw the inherent potential in your kind. As such, I voted with Oriel to spare mankind from annihilation.
Tyrael blamed us for Diablo's return, yet we are all that stands between the angels and certain death. How can you look into the future?
I see the myriad streams of possibility, all intertwining and weaving into one another. I can hear them echoing forward into eternity.
But you cannot choose the paths.
I am not called to be a champion as you are. My role is simply to observe.
What is the foretold end of this battle?
Doom and darkness. These heavens ruined. The angelic host broken. Diablo victorious.
It cannot be.
As I have said, Nephilim, your destiny is unwritten. You alone may change these dark times.
Thank you, Nephilim. I hoped the scroll of fate was wrong, that harmony would once again fill this troubled realm. I see now that all hope lies in you.
How strange.
With my blessing, you can now dispel Diablo's corruption. It hides the rifts which bring his cursed servants to this hallowed place. The rifts must be closed.
It would be an honor, my lady.
I have found Ariel, the Archangel of Hope. With her aid, the high heavens may yet prevail, though Tyrael is still lost. Diablo's presence scars these halls, and the battle rages on in his infernal portals.
I knew you would come. That a champion from the mortal world would light our darkest hour. Your courage and nobility shine out across this realm, blinding our enemies.
I do not deserve such praise. Had I acted faster, this darkness never would have come to pass.
I know you will do all you can, for this is your hour. Go forth with my blessing, and show all creation why the Nephilim are the future.
Tyrael is no longer himself.
There is a shadow upon his heart, but it will pass. Remember, he chose to be a mortal, and he must overcome this despair as a mortal.
That is what worries me.
Have faith in him. Of all the archangels, his light has always shone the brightest. In this our darkest hour, he will ensure that justice prevails.
What will you do now?
Though the angelic host is scattered, we are not defeated. I will try to rally them as best I can.
How do you believe Diablo can be defeated?
Only in the light that lies within you, Nephilim. I will take heart from it and hope for your victory. The future is ever writing itself. Unknowable, just beyond sight and touch.
To go back.